Welcome and thanks for joining us on EMII.com. I'm Caitlin Sisney with your hedge fund headlines. Today is Tuesday, March 18th, 2008. A Florida-based railroad is hauling two hedge funds to court on charges that they violated federal security laws in an effort to nominate their own panel to the company's board of directors. According to Jacksonville Times Union, CSX Corporation's charges, the Children's Investment Fund and 3G Capital Partners come after months of wrangling over the issue, which most recently surfaced at a congressional hearing. At the hearing, the hedge funds criticized CSX over the way it was run. CSX says the two hedge funds made false and misleading disclosures regarding its stake in the rail company and has postponed its annual meeting to June 25th. The two hedge funds say the allegations are wholly without merit. Staying with hedge fund news, the future of private equity may include a return to the good old days. Chief Investment Officer at Oxford University Asset Management Sandra Roberts said at a conference last week, quote, "We can expect to see longer holding periods, but similar returns being generated on exit. The net effect will be that internal rates of returns will fall, however, as she sees a return of the good old J-curve." Speaking at the annual Investor Forum conference of the European Private Equity and Venture Capital Association, Roberts also warned that some portfolio companies may experience deep problems, according to Financial News, which reported on the conference. And in other hedge fund news, real estate investment trusts will eventually make themselves at home in India, but not yet. Reuters reports that the Securities and Exchange Board of India says there is indication from those toiling in the financial field that they have other priorities when it comes to easing open the India market ahead of REITs. Though SEBI issued its REIT guidelines in December that would provide retail investors greater access to the sector and announced potential move to introduce currency futures as a way of hedging forex risk, as well as new borrowing and lending security systems, appeared to have generated more enthusiasm, says Reuters. And in hedge fund news in Asia, Grant Thornton, the court-appointed liquidator for Australian Basis Capital's troubled Cayman Islands high-yield fund, may ask the court for a chunk of the assets. Cayman Net News, citing attorneys for Basis, says that if the liquidators get their way, it will mean investors will receive less of the proceeds of the Basis Yield Fund. CEO of Investment and Financial Services Association Richard Gilbert said in an interview with Investor Daily. He said, "We're surprised this occurred. This issue could adversely affect the interests of the investments they're seeking clarification on." The two sides are fighting over relatively little. The Basis Yield Fund, which was officially placed in liquidation in December, reportedly is valued at 2 cents on the dollar. And that rounds out today's hedge fund headlines. Thanks for joining us on EMII.com. For more details on these stories and much more, click on our hedge fund section and read the latest developments.